Adolf Hitler. The dictator has just received news of U.S. President Franklin Roosevelt's death, and for a brief moment, the bulletin had galvanized the morose mood in Hitler's headquarters, the Führer bunker deep under Berlin. The man whom the German press spuriously called Rosenfeld, a reference to his allegedly Jewish ancestry, had been a determined enemy of Nazis and National Socialism long before the war. Once in the fight, Roosevelt had concentrated the enormous military, financial, and industrial power of his country against the enemy in Europe, even to the extent of placing the struggle against Japan, the real target of the American people's hatred, on the back burner. And now America's leader was dead. With Hitler's nemesis gone, and a virtual unknown about to take office, the Grand Alliance facing Germany might be wavering. The coalition had been an unnatural thing to begin with, an uneasy marriage of capitalists and Bolsheviks. Perhaps now it might collapse altogether. Indeed, Hitler had been selling this notion to his entourage for months, but no one had believed him. Those present in the gloom during the final moments of the Third Reich now had no choice but to believe. One of them wrote, "We felt the wings of the angel of history rustle through the room." However, the listener's guess is likely wrong. In the scene's original incarnation, at least, the date was not 1945, but 1762. The beleaguered leader was not Hitler, but the Roi Connétable, soldier king of Prussia, Frederick II. The dead adversary was not the President of the United States, but the Tsarina of all the Russians, Elizabeth II. The king had just suffered through a very bad year, and 5 years into the 7 Years' War, Prussia seemed lost. Defeated on all fronts, worn down by the superior resources of his enemies, Frederick could see the end approaching and even declared repeatedly that he would not survive defeat. He intended to kill himself. The Tsarina's death and the succession of her Prussophile son Peter III to the Russian throne changed all that. At the last second, a lost war passed into the win column. The miracle of the House of Brandenburg would enter the history books, and King Frederick II would go down in history as the Great. This book will look at a similar, apparently lost war, the fight of the German Wehrmacht against the Allies from January 1944 to May 1945. It bases its argument on a relatively simple premise. History matters. It matters to the way people view their own lives and problems. It matters to the things they say and the things they do. Very often, and Germany's situation in the last 4 years of World War II is a classic example, we do not so much experience things as re-experience them. This principle is especially true with regard to one of the most pressing questions of World War II. What kept the German army going in an increasingly hopeless situation? What kept the general staff planning, the commanders commanding, and the soldiers fighting, even when the situation clearly seemed hopeless? Over the years, historians have posited various answers. The traditional view places Hitler front and center. A man of magnetism and charisma, Hitler seems the key reason that Germany fought on when most nations would have cracked. The irresistible steely gaze of his blue eyes was proverbial, especially in the memoir literature of the German military and political elite. Hitler, his generals and ministers claimed, could make them do things they did not really want to do. Albert